Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the corporate world. And today we're looking at Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated Connecticut XR. It seems they've got a new presentation out, and we're going to see what is really going on behind the glossy slides. Before we dive in, if you want more of these nonsense breakdowns of company filings, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord where we chat about these things in real time, link in the description below. So what we have here is a current report, essentially an update that a public company like Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated needs to file when something significant happens. Think of it like a quick bulletin to investors. The date we're looking at is the 23rd of October 2025, and the big news in this filing is that Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated posted an updated corporate presentation on their website. Now, a corporate presentation, this is usually where the company highlights its achievements, its plans, and its value proposition to current and potential investors. It is their chance to put their best foot forward. Their stock symbol, for those who might be interested, is CTXR, and it trades on the Nasdaq Capital Market. This part of the filing, item 7.01, is often called Regulation FD Disclosure. What that basically means is that any material information they're disclosing here needs to be made public to everyone at the same time. They're not supposed to be selectively telling good news to just a few select people. So the core of this filing is just that they've shared a new presentation. They've attached it as an exhibit, Exhibit 99.1. This is where the real details would be, but as this is just the report about the presentation, we have to infer what's in it or look at the presentation itself if we were investors. Now, this next part is important for legal reasons, but it's also a key takeaway for us. They're saying this information, the presentation, isn't officially considered filed under certain parts of the law. This means they're less legally responsible for the exact statements made in the presentation compared to, say, their audited financial reports. It is a bit like saying, don't sue us too hard if something in this presentation doesn't pan out exactly as planned. It's a common way companies protect themselves a bit when they are doing forward-looking statements in these promotional materials. Moving on, item 9.01 tells us about the exhibits that are part of this filing. Exhibit 99.1 is that corporate presentation we've been talking about, and Exhibit 104 is the cover page interactive data file. This is a technical detail for those who need to process these filings digitally. It essentially embeds data that computers can read easily. Finally, we have the signature section. This is where authorized individuals sign off on the report, confirming that to the best of their knowledge, the information is accurate. Here we see the signature of Leonard Mezzer, who is identified as the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. His signature confirms the company's acknowledgement of this filing. So, what does this really mean for Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated? Well, this filing itself is pretty light on hard numbers. It's an announcement about a promotional document. The real story is in that corporate presentation. A corporate presentation typically aims to paint a positive picture. It will likely detail their drug pipeline, potential market successes, maybe some early clinical trial data, and projections for growth. It's their sales pitch. When a company like Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, which is in the pharmaceutical space, releases a new presentation, investors will be looking for signs of progress, especially in their drug development. Are they moving into new phases of clinical trials? Have they achieved any key milestones? What are their prospects for getting new drugs to market and generating revenue? The presentation would ideally answer these questions. The fact that this is filed under Regulation FD means they are putting this information out there for everyone. But the disclaimer about not being filed under Section 18 is a signal that while they hope the presentation is accurate, they're also hedging their bets a bit, which is pretty standard practice for Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. The strength of this filing really depends on the content of that corporate presentation. If the presentation shows strong progress in key drug development areas, new partnerships, or positive outlooks on regulatory approvals, that would be a significant positive. However, if it's just a rehashing of old information or overly optimistic without concrete backing, investors will likely be disappointed. In a company like this, which is focused on developing new pharmaceuticals, the timeline to market can be very long and expensive, with a high risk of failure. So, seeing that presentation would be key to understanding if Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated is on a realistic path to success, or if they're just trying to create hype. To wrap things up, this 8K filing tells us that Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated has released new promotional material. The real substance, the numbers, the strategy, the actual story, will be buried within that corporate presentation. Without seeing that, this filing is just a placeholder. Now, what is your take on this? Do you think Citius Pharmaceuticals Incorporated is making real progress based on what its presentations usually look like? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.